looking down the road and see a falling star. Can you make a wish? Ooh, just remember, luck is no such thing. One man succeeds while another man fails. Why is it then, you ask? This
Coming to you from New York City, you're watching Astrology, Numerology Now, New York City's longest running astrology and numerology show, where every week at this time we bring you the latest astrology news and information. I'm your host, professional astrologer, numerologist, Z Starman. Before there was Facebook, before there was Twitter, before there was Instagram, there was Z Starman here on Manhattan Neighborhood Network and other public access television stations, bringing you live the latest astrology news and information. I've gotten so many emails over the last couple of months. Z Starman, where are you? Phone calls, and I appreciate them, but sometimes Z Starman has to take a break because I've been, again, bringing you astrology, numerology for the last 14, going on 15 years. I believe in another couple of years, if we last that long, we're up for the Guinness Book of Records for the longest running astrology, numerology now, or astrology-based television show in the history of television. And let's see if we can get there. But tonight, one of the things that we're going to do is we're going to close out summer 2022 and sort of kind of give you a preview of what's coming this fall from an astrology, numerology point of view. There's a lot of things going on. And one of the things that are going on right now is I want to wish all the Virgo people happy birthday. Yes, it's Virgo season. Virgo season began on August 22nd, 2022 at 11:16 p.m. Eastern Time. If you lived in California, or if you live in California, it started at 8:16. See, the season starts simultaneously around the world, but at different hours, or at that time zone's hour. For instance, in London, England, on August 22nd, it was 4:16 a.m. on the 23rd. So Virgo season starts simultaneously around the world, but depending on where you're living, it's determined what time it starts. So Virgo season is going to be here until till September 22nd, 2022 at 9:03 p.m., which is the first day of the fall equinox or the autumn equinox. So we're closing out summer. Virgo is a mutable sign, and mutable signs are about changes. Gemini changes spring into summer, Virgo changes summer into fall, Sagittarius changes fall into winter, and Pisces changes winter into spring. But we're in Virgo season right now. And Virgo, let's take a look at the sign of Virgo. Virgo, if we look at her, she's holding something in her hand. She's holding a stalk of wheat. And in nature, wheat is nature's multivitamin. Every vitamin from A to zinc is in wheat. So that's one thing that Virgo is about. It's about purity. It's about perfection. It's about being very analytical. If you know any Virgos, and we know plenty of them. Virgo is the sixth sign of the zodiac. And the sixth sign in the zodiac is about service. And if we also look at Virgo, Virgo is one of the only other signs, I think the only sign of the zodiac that has wings on its back. You see her with the stalk of wheat, and then she has wings. So Virgo will be flying all over the place in her intellect, in her puritanical ways sometimes, because Virgo, if you know anything about astrology or anything about a Virgo, they're very critical. They're very exact. They're very detailed oriented. If you're hiring for a job position, hire a Virgo or hire someone with Virgo rising sign, because Virgos are some of the hardest workers of the zodiac. Virgo and Gemini are both ruled by the planet Mercury. And Virgo, along with Gemini, is the only two human signs of the zodiac. So sometimes Virgo and Gemini, if you got Virgo rising or Gemini rising, especially Virgo rising, you get frustrated because you're part human. You're part human. I like to say Gemini and Virgo, again, the ruling planet is Mercury. They have the same father, which is Mercury, but different mothers. Gemini's mother is the spring and Virgo's mother is the summer. So they're the only two human signs, and sometimes it's hard to understand Virgo people. They're hard to get along with, but they make damn good workers, I'll tell you that much. I was looking at something the other day. Mexico, the country of Mexico, is ruled by the sign of Virgo. And if you ever see and this is no offense, but if you ever see a Mexican work, them motherfuckers work. They work hard all day, every day, from sun up to sunset. Virgos are some of the hardest working people, very critical. But the main thing about Virgo is health and wellness. It's Virgo season, and I suggest that we all start to double down when it comes to health and wellness. So much we can go on. I can do a whole show on Virgo. But again, happy birthday to all the Virgos. Find out where Virgo is operating in your astrology chart and know how it's working. And before we go, I'd like to wish Mayor Eric Adams of New York City a happy birthday. Eric's birthday is September 1st, 1960, and his moon sign is Capricorn. September 1st, 1960, and his moon sign is Capricorn. So happy birthday, Eric Adams. My mother used to babysit Eric Adams. A lot of people don't know that. Well, we talked about it in an interview, but I would like to wish the mayor of New York City, Eric Adams, happy birthday, Eric. Now, just moving right along, if you're just tuning into the show, you're watching Astrology Numerology Now. And since the name of the show is Astrology Numerology Now, let's talk about these numbers. Let's talk about these numbers for a second. 2022 is a sixth personal year. See, September is sort of kind of the time of the year, September, August, where these numbers start to intensify. So September is a sixth universal month and in a sixth universal year. And again, the sixth is about service, it's about giving back to people, it's about health and wellness, it's about helping people. But since we're living in the times of viruses, from the coronavirus, the MB2 virus, all these viruses and sicknesses, monkeypox virus, it's very important in a number 6 universal month and throughout the remainder of the year that we double down on our health and wellness regime. Because summer is coming, not summer, but the winter is coming, the fall is coming, especially if you're living in the northern hemisphere. It's time to soak up the energies of getting ready and getting yourself ready for this surge and this uptick in the coronavirus. It doesn't matter where you're from, it's about getting ready. And that's what astrology is about. It's about getting ready. This is a number 6 universal month. Since it is August, we're still kind of 5 universal month. So the thing, and 5 is about changes. And see, the thing is with astrology and numerology is not to let the numbers of the planets change you, but you act accordingly as to how the planets and numbers change. sometimes you can't put a square peg in a round hole. You have to sort of kind of go with the flow. In September 2022 is the number 6 universal month. See, that's the thing about astrology and numerology. It's about getting ready. Excuse me, and I'm getting everybody ready on tonight's show for the solstice or the equinox. It's going to get darker. It's going to get less light outside. So we're getting ready on astrology, numerology now tonight. And again, it's a lot of stuff. It's Virgo season until September 22nd. So Virgos, all my other earth signs, Tauruses, and Capricorns soak up some of this energy with the trines that are going on. Trines are called aspects. So it's a favorable time for all the earth signs in a way. There's a caveat here. In a way, it's a good time for earth signs, but with Virgo rising, get ready. If you have Virgo sun sign, your life's getting ready to change, sort of, kind of. But and here's why. First, we have some planets moving into different signs of the zodiac. On August 25th, Mercury is moving into the sign of Libra to September 23rd. Good for air signs, thinking, thought process. Venus is going to be in Leo, so if you're a Leo, get ready for some love and some money and some affection. And also other fire signs like Sagittarius and Aries. That's a compatible element. So, but the big thing is that on the 27th, I got it right here. I know what I want to say. On the 27th, we got a new moon coming up. We got a new moon coming up in the sign of Virgo. A new moon in the sign of Virgo. And new moon, if we look at the moon in the heavens, we can't see it. This is the start of the lunar cycle. And this lunar cycle was beginning in the sign of Virgo. And again, Virgo is the sign of health and wellness and service. And again, we should be all doubling down with this new moon in the sign of Virgo on our health and wellness and fitness regime. This is also called a harvest moon. And a harvest moon is the full moon that's closest to the fall equinox. So we have the harvest moon, time to gather harvest, gather all the energy, the notes, the information, your vitamins, your smoothies, get your routine together and double down as we see an uptick in the coronavirus and other monkeypox viruses. Virgo season is the time, and especially with this new moon in Virgo, is the time to get healthy in more ways than one, mentally and physically. If you're just tuning in, you're watching Z Starman. You're watching Astrology, Numerology now. Again, we have some big news that's headed our way. And one of the things that we have to get ready for is these 5 and 6 planets that are about to be retrograde all at the same time. We got a lot of planets from Pluto to Jupiter. All the outer planets are turning retrograde. They're turning retrograde, and we're going to have Mercury retrograde coming up. Dun, 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 dun. I know a lot of you have been watching the show for the last 15, 14 years. We got all these planets that are going to be retrograde. All these planets will change how we act, think, and feel in this world coming up. And let's talk about a few of them for a minute or so. Our most recent retrograde is Jupiter is retrograde. It's Thursday, August 24th. I'm Z Starman. If you're just tuning in, we're talking about getting ready for the fall equinox. So Jupiter is retrograde in the sign of Aries. Jupiter is the ruler of Pisces and definitely Sagittarius. So with any retrograde, the big thing to know is that what can go wrong will go wrong, but everything is not doom and gloom during a retrograde. Let me say that one more time. Everything is not doom and gloom during a retrograde. And we'll be having 5 planets retrograde. So the first one is Jupiter, rules Sagittarius. It rules the sign of Pisces. This retrograde started on July 28th and it's going to last to November 22nd, the first day of Pisces. Or excuse me, the first day of Sagittarius. It's going to be in the sign of Sagittarius. And it's going to be, it rules Sagittarius, but it's going to be in the sign of Aries. And it's going to be in the sign of Pisces until November 22nd. So get ready for that, everybody. That's one retrograde. If you're an Aquarius, your ruling planet is going to be retrograde starting August 24th in the sign of Taurus. So there's a lot of shaking up going on, as we get ready for the fall. We got all these retrogrades going on. So we got Uranus retrograde, which rules Aquarius. So if you know any Aquarius people, you know anybody who's Aquarius. If you know your chart, know you have the moon or rising sign in Aquarius, be mindful of this. And again, all retrogrades are not doom and gloom. It gives you a chance to go back and capitalize on some business opportunities or emotional opportunities that have been lingering around. And the universe is giving you one last chance, Aquarius, and one last chance, Sagittarius and Pisces, because Jupiter, once again, rules Sagittarius and Pisces, to capitalize on an event or a plan. Start planning right now. Up next, what else do we have retrogrades? Be mindful of this. Saturn is now retrograde. Saturn is retrograde in the sign of Aquarius, and Saturn is the ruling planet of Capricorn. So almost every sign, we got 6 retrograde planets, we got 12 signs in the zodiac, so at least half of the signs, their ruling planet is retrograde. Saturn again is in retrograde in the sign of Aquarius. It has been since June, and starting in October 22nd, it's going to start going forward. But it's karma, especially with Saturn related. It's karma related to Capricorn people and all things Capricorn. And it depends on where Saturn is in your astrology chart. Where is it? That's what the astrologer wants to know and will tell you. Neptune is retrograde. So Neptune has been retrograde since June 27th in the sign of Pisces. So, and that's going to be retrograde all the way to December. But we got all these retrogrades, 5 retrogrades with Uranus, Neptune, Saturn, Pluto, Jupiter happening until September 9th. And on September 9th, we're going to have the big retrograde. Mercury retrograde. A lot of you probably saying, oh no, Z-Star man, not another retrograde, Mercury retrograde. Yes, but we have Mercury retrogrades about 3-4 times a year. So the thing is with Mercury retrograde, I like to tell people sometimes you're your own worst enemy during a Mercury retrograde because you don't pay attention, you don't listen, you get careless. And all this Mercury retrograde is happening in the sign of Virgo and Libra. Virgo and Libra rising people, y'all got a lot on your plate come this September. Along with Jupiter people, that's Sagittarius, along with Uranus people or Uranus people, which is Aquarius. We're going to have 6 planets retrograde, y'all. September 9th to October 2nd. And again, Mercury will be in retrograde in the sign of Libra and the sign of Virgo. And again, since the theme of the show is about health and wellness and getting ready, and sometimes it's getting ready for job interview, it's about work and service and helping out people. The more you give out energy to the universe will give back to you. And again, 2022 is the number 6 year. We're in Virgo energy. Virgo is the 6th sign of the zodiac. So if you help yourself, but not try to overdo it, you still have to adhere to laws of Mercury retrograde. Don't start anything new. Don't do anything new. My favorite is Murphy's Law. What can go wrong will go wrong. You don't sign contracts on or during a Mercury retrograde, or especially a Mercury retrograde. If you're a Virgo, I would advise every Virgo out there, and Pisces also, it's going to be challenging for you to get a reading, to get an astrology, numerology reading from a professional astrologer. If you want to talk to me after the show, you can give me a call. And my number is 646-712-9999. 646-712-9999. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. But the fastest way to talk to me, let's talk about how these planets will affect you this coming September. Give me a call, 646-712-9999. We got all these crazy retrogrades. Don't say that Z Starman did not tell y'all. Don't say it. See, astrology and numerology is about getting ready. And this crazy world that is about to change in a heartbeat or an instant, especially what's going on in Russia. Or not Russia, but what Russia is doing to the Ukraine, which is ruled by the sign of Virgo. Ukraine's birthday is August 24th, which is today's date. And there's a threat of nuclear war and Armageddon and all kinds of crazy stuff that could affect the whole planet. So don't be surprised when you hear, because of these 6 retrogrades and because of this retrograde tsunami that we're having, that the world is about to change on all of us. Every day we're hearing of family, friends, and loved ones who are passing away, who are passing on. The world has to change. Are you going to get caught up in all the changes? Hopefully you won't. But here are some of the things that are coming. Talk to me after the show. Astrology, once again, is about getting ready, getting prepared. And I want to get you ready, and I want to get you prepared. Again, we have 6 retrograde planets. We have, let's start from the back, Pluto, Neptune, Saturn, Jupiter, Uranus. Did I mention Uranus retrograde or Uranus retrograde? Uranus retrogrades in the sign of Taurus on today, on the 24th. And Taurus deals with the money. The money is getting ready to get funny, y'all. Watch how you spend your money. And Uranus and Taurus is going to be retrograde till January 22nd. So get ready for the retrograde tsunami that's getting ready to happen. Get ready to double down on your health and wellness regime. That's one thing I like to say. Double down on that. A lot of people are going to get sick and die this fall. this winter. Know now to get ready and be mindful of this Mercury retrograde. We have a full moon in the sign of Virgo. Let me find that on September 10th. So let's be mindful of that before it gets here. Full moon in the sign of Pisces the day before 9/11. Get ready for that. We have Mars squaring. Let me pull that up. Mars square Venus, or Venus square Mars, on September 16th. All the war and the energy. But let's get ready. And before we sign off, I want to remember the late, great Bill Russell. Bill Russell, NBA Hall of Famer, born on February 12th, 1934. He passed on July 31st, 2022. His astrological glyphs: he's an Aquarius, double Aquarius, Sun and Moon in Aquarius, along with Taurus rising. And if you don't know nothing about Bill Russell, this man won everything there was to win. First NBA black coach to win as a player NBA title, 11 championships, 11 rings. Before there was Michael, Kobe, Will Chamberlain, there was Bill Russell. So we're going to say rest in peace, Bill Russell. That's about all the time we have for Astrology Numerology Now. I'd like to thank my producer-director, Dietrich Kelsey, for making this show happen. And thank you to you, the producers, or you, the viewers, for watching. This has been Z Starman saying peace, love, light. Here's my contact information. I'll talk to you later.
And it's a lie. Who controls your very soul? Ask them why. You is so sound and practical. Yet Gemini, so inconsistent. Ooh, let me tell you a secret I know. Known the world over. Your life is controlled by the stars. Just ask them. Ooh, the planet of life.